Hello friends, welcome to my channel Harka Smiley. Today we are talking about the most important topic, that is 7 QC tools. Here we are going to cover all the 7 QC tools in this video. Let's see what are the QC tools. QC tools are meant for collecting the data, analyzing the data, identifying the root causes and measuring the results. These tools are related to numerical data processing. The basic tools are cause and effect diagram, Pareto analysis, flow chart, scatter diagram, check sheet, histogram, control chart. These tools are very important where we are talking about green belt, yellow belt, it doesn't matter. These 7 QC tools are most powerful for solving problems and making improvements. I love this quote said by Kaoru Ishikawa is as much as 95% of quality problems can be solved with 7 fundamental tools. Cause and effect diagram. Cause and effect diagram is also called as fishbone diagram or Ishikawa. This is a visual tool to explore all the potential factors that might be causing or contributing to a particular problem. As I am showing here in the diagram, the effect of the problem is the head of the fish. This is our effect. Once we have this effect, we can start working on fishbone process to analyze of all the potential causes. Here I am showing the 4 arms of fishbone diagram. This is the beauty of fishbone process. It is a well structured approach to a root cause analysis. Here it forces to think about all the potential different characterized scenarios or causes they might be contribute to a problem. Now, with the cause and effect diagram, number of tools are used. I would recommend flowchart, teamwork, brainstorming, and 5Y analysis. By the help of these tools, this will help you to find the root cause of a problem. Next is Pareto analysis. This chart allows for analysis of data in search of Pareto principle. This is also called a 80 by 20 rule. This rule was first identified by Vilfredo Pareto. He is an Italian researcher who was studying on land ownership and wealth distribution in Italy. In Europe, he found that 80% of the land was owned by 20% of the people. This rule it was popularized by Joseph Juran. He told us that a Pareto chart helps you separate the vital view from the trivial money. This means when you see the problem, you'll get 1 or 2 key defects will impact. For example, when we take the data from this chart, in overcount category, 47% of the defects are there. So here x-axis is problems, y-axis is frequency. This chart represents the picking the errors. This red line is called cumulative line. Next is scatter diagram. A scatter diagram is visual analysis tool that shows the possible relationship between the two variables. For example, while we working on cause and effect diagram, an engineer helps us with a check sheet. Let's take example for analysis of defects and humidity. If we observe here, first defect control PCB. In a days of week, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday shows a low defect range and suddenly it jumps to the high defect on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So we have to know the relationship between these two variables. So we have to create a scatter diagram. Here it shows some relationship between the defects and humidity. These values are plotting along with the two axes in the graph. These resulting points will say the correlation. Once you've done the scatter diagram, you have to find the correlation coefficient. The strength of that relationship can be expressed mathematically using a percent correlation coefficient. Here are some examples of correlation coefficient. Flowchart. A flowchart is a visual tool that depicts the flow or sequence of a process that may be information, task, people, material or decision. The main reason of flowchart is makes the complex process become simple and promotes a common understanding process. Here, I love using this methodology is what the management thinks, what the procedure says, what actually happening in the production floor, what the process could be happening. By this way, we can get to know that all will be in same page about what is happening. I love this quote by Edward Deming said that if you can't describe what you're doing as a process, you don't know what you're doing. This is the best way to describe what you're doing is used to the flowchart. That's why this tool is very powerful in planning phase or defining phase, and it is really good to use a flowchart to know the process and makes the experiment to be improved. Histogram. Histogram is a type of bar chart that graphs the frequency of occurrence of continuous data and is useful tool for displaying, summarizing and analyzing the data. For every process or product has some level of variation that will occur in a pattern. So what is pattern? So for knowing what is pattern, histogram is the great way to understand. Checklist. The checklist is a simple tool for collecting, organizing, and analyzing data. Here I am showing an example where something wrong in this check sheet. So, for making an high qualified data, you need to know first metadata. Metadata is nothing that who collected the data, when the data was collected, where the data was collected, and especially don't forget to include these things like who, when, where. These are the key elements for making high quality decisions. 7QC tool. Control chart. A control chart is a collection of statistical tools that allow you to ensure that your process is in control. Here, control is only experiencing a normal variation. Here on the screen, I am showing some examples of control charts. A control chart is a visual communication tool that reflects the performance and behavior of your process.